The sun was high over the busy streets of Ajegunle. Okadas zigzagged between potholes, women shouted prices in the market, and the air smelled of roasted corn, petrol, and sweat. Junior walked beside his mother, balancing a black nylon bag filled with tomatoes, onions, and gari. They had spent the whole morning in the crowded market, haggling and dodging pickpockets. All they wanted now was to get home before the rain started. "Junior, hold the bag well, Mama said. Don't let those tomatoes scatter." "I'm holding it, Mama," Junior replied, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Let's take the short road so we reach home fast." They turned into a dusty side road where fewer cars passed. A kiki picked them up near the bus stop. Junior sat by the window, enjoying the wind brushing his face. But as they reached the corner by the old petrol station, the kiki suddenly slowed down. "What happened?" Mama asked the driver. "Police checkpoint," the driver muttered. "They don't come again." Junior looked ahead. 5 policemen stood in the middle of the road. 2 held rifles, while the others waved down every car, bike, or kiki that passed. Their eyes scanned each passenger like hunters. One of them pointed at their kiki and motioned for it to stop. "Oh yeah, come down! Come down!" the tallest officer shouted, slapping the side of the vehicle. Junior's heart began to race. His mother grumbled and got down slowly, dragging him along. The officer, whose name tag read Sergeant Bala, looked at them with cold, sharp eyes, his lips curled into a sneer. "Where unna dey go?" he asked. "We dey go house," Mama said calmly. "We just come for market." "Open your bag." Junior handed over the bag. The sergeant searched through it roughly, squashing some tomatoes. He didn't find anything, but that didn't stop him. "Where una ID card?" he asked. "We no carry ID. We just go market," Mama said again. "No ID? You dey waka for street?" Junior stared at him confused. "But we're not criminals." The sergeant's eyes narrowed. "You dey argue with officer of the law? You think say this na play?" Another officer walked up and noticed Junior holding a small Android phone. He snatched it from his hand. "Nice phone. Where you get this?" he asked. "It's mine," Junior replied, his voice shaking. "Lie! This kind phone no fit be your own. You thief am?" "I didn't steal it. My uncle gave me." The officer raised his hand as if to slap him. "Shut up!" Mama stepped forward. "I beg, officer, he no thief am. The gift. We be good people. I beg make unna let us go." "Good people they carry phone without receipt? They walk without ID card?" Sergeant Bala snapped. "If una no one sleep for cell today, better settle us." Junior's stomach tightened. He'd heard people talk about police collecting bribes, but this was his first time seeing it with his eyes. He looked around. Nobody was helping. The other drivers were quietly giving money and driving off. Everyone seemed used to it. Mama whispered to Junior, "Give me that 500 inside your pocket." "Mama, that's for food, just give me." Junior handed her the money. She folded it and tried to give it to the officer discreetly. But Bala laughed. 500? You dey insult us?" "That's all we have, officer. I beg." Bala looked at the phone in his colleague's hand and smiled. "If unna no get money, maybe we go carry this phone go station." Junior stepped forward. "Please, don't take my phone." The officer stared at him. "You want teach me my job?" Junior looked at his mother. Her face was tight with fear and shame. Sergeant Bala waved his hand. "Oh yeah, go back inside the KK. Next time, come with ID and respect." They got back inside, but the phone didn't come with them. The officer had pocketed it. As the KK drove away, Junior sat in silence, holding back tears. Don't forget, his fingers. If you're loving this video, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. It's free, and it helps us bring you more awesome content. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you won't miss a thing. We're so happy to have you with us. And Indy. If you're enjoying what you're watching, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't forget to click the bell so you're always the first to know when a new video drops. And don't forget type on comment section which country you are watching from and watch more on African folktale stories. Thanks, Pocket, where the phone used to be. He felt empty, powerless. "Mama, why they do us like that? We didn't do anything." Mama looked away. "That's how it is sometimes. If you argue too much, they'll say you're a cultist or Yahoo boy. That's how some people disappear." Junior said nothing. His throat burned with anger. They reached home, and Mama went straight to the kitchen. Junior sat on the old wooden bench outside, staring at the sky. The clouds were heavy, gray like sorrow. He thought about what just happened. It wasn't just the phone. It was the way the officer looked at him, like he was less than human. He picked up a pen and his school notebook and began to write. On the first page, he wrote in capital letters, "Corruption is a disease." He didn't know why he wrote it. Maybe to remember. Maybe to stop himself from forgetting how it felt to be helpless. That night, he had trouble sleeping. He kept hearing the officer's voice, "Settle us." He kept seeing his mother's eyes filled with fear. And deep in his chest, something was growing. Not fear, a fear. The next morning, the sky over Ajegunle was gray again. But inside Junior's chest, it wasn't the rain that was building. It was a storm. He sat quietly on the wooden bench outside his house, his notebook on his lap, staring into nothing. He hadn't touched his food. His mother watched him from the kitchen door. Incident had shaken him. But what could she say? In Nigeria, silence had become survival. At school, Junior barely spoke to anyone. He kept thinking about the phone, how easily it was taken from him, how helpless he and his mother had been. He kept hearing Sergeant Bala's voice mocking them. In social studies class, the teacher, Mr. Daff, announced a new assignment. Each student must prepare a presentation on a problem affecting Nigeria. Students groaned. Some chose things like bad roads or poor electricity. Junior raised his hand. "I want to do mine on police corruption," he said. The class went quiet. Mr. Dave raised an eyebrow. "That's a bold one. Any particular reason?" Junior hesitated. "I saw it yesterday." The teacher nodded slowly. "All right, Junior, but make sure your facts are strong." That night, Junior stayed up late researching on his mom's old radio phone. He looked up cases of police abuse in Nigeria. He read about the SARS protests, how young people were profiled for having iPhones, tattoos, or even dreadlocks. Stories of beatings, of people who never returned home. He wrote in his notebook again, "They don't protect us, they hunt us." The next day, during break time, his friend Yusuf sat beside him. "You really want to talk about police corruption? You know they fear?" Junior nodded. "Why should I be afraid of the truth?" Yusuf lowered his voice. "Because the truth they make enemies." Junior thought about that all day. Was he ready to make enemies? 2 days later, as he walked home from school alone, he passed the same checkpoint. His stomach twisted. The officers were there again, Sergeant Bala included. Junior quickly crossed the road to avoid them. "Hey, you, come here," someone shouted. Junior froze. It was Bala. He pretended not to hear and kept walking. "I say come here." Junior turned slowly, heart pounding. Bala walked up, chewing gum, face like he owned the... Junior stayed silent. "You deformed brave that day, Abi? Will your phone now? Were you on bring lawyer?" Junior clenched his fist. "You stole my phone." Bala's eyes went dark. He stepped closer. "When you talk?" "I said you stole it." One of the other officers chuckled. "This boy get livero." Bala grabbed Junior by the collar. "You dey mad? You know who I be? I go make you disappear." People passing by slowed down, but didn't stop. No one dared interfere. Junior's voice trembled, but he held his ground. "Do what you want. You already did your worst." Bala shoved him away. "Next time you pass here, you go learn lesson." Junior staggered, catching his breath. He didn't cry. Not this time. When he got home, his mother saw the dirt on his uniform and the fear in his eyes. "Junior, what'd happen again?" He sat down and told her everything. This time, Mama didn't try to silence him. She listened with tears in her eyes. "You're just a boy," she said. "Why must you carry this kind burden?" "Because nobody else will," he replied. That night, he added more to his project. He wrote about how power in the wrong hands becomes poison. He drew a picture of a police badge dripping blood. Underneath it, he wrote, "Some protect, others pray." 3 days later, presentation day came. Junior stood in front of his class, holding his notebook with both hands. He looked around. Some students were curious, others distracted. But once he began, the room grew still. "My name is Junior. I'm here to talk about police corruption in Nigeria." He spoke clearly, his voice steady. He told the story of the checkpoint, of the stolen phone, of how fear had tried to make them silent. He read quotes from real people who had suffered worse. He showed drawings, statistics, even old newspaper clippings his uncle had saved. When he finished, the class was silent. Mr. Dave clapped slowly. "That guy, you go trend for this school." But not everyone was happy. Later that day, as school closed, Junior was called to the staff room. Two men stood there. Plain clothes, but with sharp eyes and big boots. Police. His legs went cold. "Junior, these officers say they want to speak with you," the principal said. One of the men stepped forward. "You're the boy talking about police online?" "I only spoke in class," Junior replied. "We just want to advise you. Be careful what you say. You know who they listen." They didn't arrest him. They didn't even shout, but the message was clear. You're being watched. When he got home, he locked the door and sat in the corner. His hands were cold. His breath came fast. His mother sat beside him. "You've touched something dangerous, Junior," she whispered. "I know," he replied, "but if we don't talk, who will?" She pulled him close and kissed his forehead. "You've got a warrior's heart." Later that night, Junior stared at the ceiling in the dark. His hands trembled, but his chest was firm. He knew now, this was more than a school project. It was a mission. They had tried to break him, but all they did was awaken something deeper. Not revenge. Purpose. Junior no longer walked the same way he used to. His shoulders were heavier, his eyes had changed, sharper, quieter, like someone who had seen too much for his age. He wasn't just another boy in school anymore. He was the boy who talked about the police. Rumors spread. Some said he was brave, others said he was foolish. But one thing was clear, he wasn't invisible anymore. That week, Mr. Dave handed back the students' presentations. When Junior opened his, a red A+ stared back at him. But beneath it, a handwritten note read, "You've got a voice. Use it well, but be safe." Junior folded the paper and slipped it into his pocket like a treasure. Something inside him, someone saw him. It was the first time, not as a poor boy, not as a victim, but as someone who mattered. Still, the fear lingered. He noticed strange things, like a car that parked near their compound every afternoon, men who stared too long, someone calling his name and disappearing into the crowd. Mama noticed it too. "Maybe you should stop, Junior. I know fit bury my only child." "I'm not stopping," he said. "This thing is bigger than just us now." The next week, something happened that pushed him deeper into the fire. Yusuf came running into class, panting. "Junior, you hear say dem beat Emeka?" "What happened?" "Dem stop am for roadside last night. He dey come from his uncle place. Not only earphone he ghetto. Dem say he be Yahoo boy, beat him till he faint. He dey hospital now." Junior felt a chill run down his back. He knew Emeka, quiet, always reading comics. No phone, no chains, no flashy clothes. "What kind of police does that to a child?" Junior muttered. The next day, he visited Emeka in the hospital. The boy's face was swollen. His lip was cut. His eyes looked distant, like part of him was missing. "I don't even know what I did wrong," Emeka whispered. "They just hit me. Called me thief, said I look like Yahoo boy. I told them I was a student. They said I was lying. I begged." Junior sat beside him, holding his hand tightly. "I'm going to talk about it," he said. Emeka's eyes widened. "They'll come for you. Let them." Back at school, Junior wrote Emeka's story. He posted it anonymously on a school blog that a senior had created. The post read, "A boy was beaten by those who were meant to protect him. He bled for having an earphone, for walking while young and male. How many more must be silenced before we speak louder?" It didn't take long to go viral. Students shared it across WhatsApp groups. Some reposted it on Facebook, tagging it Justice for Emeka. Within days, Emeka's story was trending within their community. People called in, telling their own stories. "I once paid $10,000 to avoid fake charges. My brother was arrested for having a laptop. They said my son was a cultist because he wore black." Junior realized something powerful. They weren't alone. But the police noticed too. One evening on his way home from school, a black SUV pulled up beside Junior. The window rolled down. It was Sergeant Bala. He didn't shout this time. He smiled. A cold, slow smile. "You think say you get sense, Ubby?" Junior froze. "I see say you dey write plenty things online. Dey talk plenty for that your school. You want make your mama become widow?" Junior's fists clenched. "You can't stop me," he whispered. Bala's smile faded. "Everybody dey brave until dem see gun. You still dey play child's game, we go see." The SUV drove off. Junior stood there for a moment, shaken but not broken. When he got home, he locked the door and sat in the dark. For the first time he cried. Not because he was afraid, but because he was angry. Angry at the system. Angry at how easily lives were destroyed. Angry that his mother had to live with fear, and his classmates walked the streets like prey. That night, he wrote again. They took my phone, then they took our peace, then they took our voices, but they will not take the truth. The next day at school, he made a decision. He walked into the school media lab and met Chioma, a final year student who ran the blog. I want to make a short video, Junior said. Chioma raised her brows. You're that boy who wrote the Emeka post, right? He nodded. She smiled. Good, sit down. With her help, Junior recorded a video, nothing fancy, just him, sitting in front of the school compound wall, telling his story. Emeka's story. Stories from others who had suffered in silence. He ended it with these words, We are not criminals because we carry phones. We are Nigerians, and we are tired of begging to be seen as human. They uploaded the video that evening. By morning, it had been reshared over 200 times. Something had shifted. That weekend, his mother received a call. An unknown number. She answered, and the voice on the other end said, Tell your son to stop, or we'll stop him ourselves. She dropped the phone, her hands shaking. Junior watched her with silent rage. They're scared, he said. They're dangerous, she replied. But the world was watching now, and the more the police tried to silence him, the louder his words echoed. Still, something deep inside Junior whispered a warning. They won't go down quietly. 3 days after Junior's video went viral, things moved faster than anyone expected. News blogs picked it up, activist pages reposted it, one popular Instagram handle captioned his video, A 15-year-old boy is risking his life to speak the truth. Where are the rest of us? In school, he became a symbol. Some whispered when he walked past, others patted his back, a few joined him. One of them was Chioma. We can organize something small, she said. Nothing crazy, just a peaceful awareness walk around the community. Posters, stories, music, even teachers might support. Junior hesitated. You think people will come? They already are, she smiled. That weekend, Junior, Chioma, and 5 other students met under the mango tree beside the staff block. They called themselves Voices of Ajegunle. They planned a walk through the local market road, carrying placards that read, We are not criminals, we are youth. Stop police bribes, stop police beatings. Protect us, don't prey on us. They told everyone to wear school uniforms. That way the message would be clear. Children are speaking. The day came, Sunday morning. A quiet breeze brushed the dusty roads. By 8 a.m., over 40 mothers joined. Mechanics from the corner workshop. Even one teacher, Mr. Dave, showed up in a shirt that read, Truth Walks. They marched, slowly, peacefully. They sang songs, they told stories, they raised their voices not in anger, but in pain and hope. Then came the sound they feared, sirens. A van stopped in front of them. Police officers poured out. Leading them was Sergeant Bala. He didn't waste time. You children are violating public order. Mr. Dave stepped forward. They are peacefully expressing themselves. That is their right. Bala sneered. You think right day matter for Nigeria? He pointed at Junior. You. Come. Junior stepped forward, unafraid. He looked Bala in the eyes. What will you do? Beat me again, in front of the world? Phones were out, cameras recording. This time, the public was watching. Bala hesitated. His eyes scanned the crowd. Too many witnesses. Too many phones. Then, the unexpected happened. A woman in uniform walked forward. Not a local officer. She was from the State Human Rights Task Force. She had been following the video. Her team had come to observe. She faced Bala. Your badge number, officer. Bala froze. Who are you to ask? She raised a card. I'm here on official orders. We've had reports about you. Junior watched as Bala's voice wobbled. The man who once barked threats like a lion now looked like a rat in flood. The officer turned to Junior. Thank you for your courage. The crowd cheered. It was no longer just a schoolboy with a notebook. It was a movement. Section 5. What truth leaves behind? 1,000 words. Bala was suspended within the week. An internal investigation began. The stolen phones, over 20, were recovered from a backroom locker in his home. Mama cried when she heard the news. But this time, the tears were from pride. You did it, she whispered, holding Junior tightly. No, he said softly. His face still had bruises, but his smile returned. When Junior visited, Emeka hugged him long and hard. You gave me back my voice, he said. And things began to change, little by little. A new police team was posted to Ajegunle. One of them visited Junior's school, apologized publicly, and promised transparency. Posters were placed on the school gate. Know your rights, speak up, demand respect. Junior was invited to speak at a youth summit in Lagos. It was his first time leaving Ajegunle. He wore a second-hand suit and trembling shoes, but when he stepped on the stage, he stood tall. He told his story, of how they took his phone, of how fear tried to own him, of how his silence turned into fire, and that fire lit 1,000 voices. But the battle wasn't over. He knew corruption wouldn't die in a day. New faces could wear old habits. The system was like a tree with deep roots. Still, Junior had learned something powerful. Even a child's voice can crack stone. He returned to Ajegunle not as a hero, but as a reminder. The school gave him a scholarship. Local donors supported his family. Mama started selling food again. Her eyes were brighter now, her back straighter. And Junior kept writing. Every night he sat by the window, pen in hand. Sometimes he wrote poetry, other times news, always with purpose. One of his poems read, "I was born where sirens chase dreams, where fear wears a badge and hope hides. But I wrote until walls listened, and I stood until fear knelt." He formed a group with Chioma and Yusuf. Voices of Ajegunle became a registered youth platform. They taught kids how to document police abuse, how to speak without violence, how to protect each other with truth. One day, while buying roasted corn by the road, a young boy tugged Junior's shirt. "Are you the boy from the video?" Junior smiled. "Yes. My brother was taken last year." Junior's throat tightened. He placed his hand on the boy's shoulder. "I'm sorry, but we won't stop." Years later, a newspaper would write about him. The boy who turned a slap into a voice, who made the nation listen, who refused to stay silent, and changed what it meant to be young in Nigeria. But Junior never let it get to his head. He still walked the same dusty roads, still wore the same slippers, still carried the same notebook. And every time he passed the old checkpoint, now closed and grown with weeds, he smiled. Because the place that tried to silence him was the place where his voice was born. The end. Please don't forget, if you're loving this video, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. It's free and it helps us bring you more awesome content. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you won't miss a thing. We're so happy to have you with us. And if you're enjoying what you're watching, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't forget to click the bell so you're always the first to know when a new video drops. And don't forget, type on comment section which country you are watching from and watch more on African folktale stories. Thanks.